is Tara from Tara's Independent Voice here on YouTube, and we are coming to you with our thoughts about the finale for season 8 of, guess what? The Walking Dead.
Absolutely.
So it was all out war, and this time it really was all out war. It was crazy. Was it as all out war as you thought it would be?
Actually, no, there wasn't that much fighting between the groups. It was between Negan and Rick, and then the rest was just showing the people how they fought the saviors.
I disagree. I think it was all out war, and I think that it was fulfilling to those of us who really wanted to see certain people get their ass kicked, even though on another level it wasn't that fulfilling. And I don't want to send out, any spoiler alerts because
In case somebody hadn't seen it yet.
yeah, plenty of people haven't seen it yet, and so we don't need to be telling them what happened, but we can tell them if we're happy or not. And I was happy with the episode. Some epic things happened having to do with our little Eugene, who has always been a wimp. Would you say that's right? Why is my hair all over you? Yeah. Eugene's always been wimpy, and it seems that maybe he's grown a set. Is that the way guys put it? Would you put it that way?
Yeah.
Yes, I believe he has come into his own.
There's no marbles, but
okay. Not on my. You want to talk like that? You set up your own channel. So, anyways, yeah, from the beginning, it was very tense. I was very afraid of who would be killed off in this episode. The final episode, usually of a season, they either give you somebody who's killed off and then turn around and give you a cliffhanger. Never was that so much true as in the end of episode, in the end of season 7 going into season 8, or was it season 8 going into second? Yeah, from season 8 going into the last episode of season 8. Going into the first, no, that was season. Anyways, the season when Negan comes in and just stop watching TV. Stop it. If you can't, I can't. If I can't, you can't. So anyways, I think that cliffhanger made a whole lot of people very angry. And I didn't understand why. No one loves a cliffhanger. It's hard because you've got, you used to have the whole summer to go through when there was a cliffhanger, literally from June until all the way into September. Gosh, only got a couple months here. Come on, guys, we can handle that. But and then of course when we did get into the cliffhanger and lost Abraham and then Glenn on top of it, that was really, really hard. Probably the hardest time I've ever had. It actually has, that one episode actually has made me afraid to watch The Walking Dead because I don't want to see Maggie get killed that way, or I don't want to see Rick or Daryl. What do you think about that cliffhanger and what it meant?
Just what it was. It was a cliffhanger.
I don't think a lot of younger viewers understand that in ages of TV past, And a lot of these people that are working on The Walking Dead as producers and executive producers have been in some involved in major televisions and television series and major movies, and they understand how important a cliffhanger is. I was a little surprised they did one on The Walking Dead, but I think they were starting to be afraid that they were losing viewers. And then they do something that some viewers just didn't understand why it happened. But that was some of the most famous episodes of any TV show have been the episodes that have a cliffhanger connected.
Especially Dallas.
Dallas, MASH, even All in the Family. It just, it just is what happened. At one time, there was the thought being that if you don't have a cliffhanger, nobody's going to go and watch the next season, because there's nothing to watch for. There's no secret to be told and to be had. So yeah, we had like for some people might say this all-out war was Waterloo, and others may kind of almost liken it. Did you let that flying insect in my house? He's down there. He'll be waiting for you when we're done. Guarantee you that. I think some people may liken this unto Waterloo, or some people may liken it unto General Custer's Last Stand. It's a little bit of both, actually. Although some people live to fight on, and others may not be fighting on. It's just, I mean, the writing on this episode was very good, I thought. What did you think about that? Yeah, I thought they did a good job as far as allowing the viewers to get some fulfillment. It was kind of fulfilling to see what happened. And then of course at the end they have to ruin it all. But I'm not saying nobody died at this particular point. It just was something happened that rubbed me the wrong way. And as we can talk about it later on later on, after people should have at least watched by then, we can discuss that. But it was upsetting to me, because it upsets the apple cart on our side. I'm talking a lot. Go ahead and say your piece. It's not all right. You're supposed to want your time on camera.
Yeah, well, the ending left something to be desired.
It did.
For a lot of us.
I just hope they don't do what it seems like they're gonna do, or maybe it can be misconstrued in their plans. But we don't want all-out war again with, between each other. And it kind of looked like maybe there was some plans going on like that, or maybe not. You just never know in a show like The Walking Dead. And there's really never been a show like The Walking Dead. I mean, you can take out zombies and put in cowboys and Indians, or you can put in all the different characters you want, but you're still not going to have The Walking Dead. You're not going to be as involved in these people's lives, or deaths, or sicknesses, or their pain and the whole thing. I feel like family.
Mm-hmm.
Feel
like one big family on the show.
Yeah, it just feels like family. And to lose somebody I don't think it's a big spoiler to say we lost Carl this year. Is probably was the biggest loss this season, this half of the season. And I was really, um, up until they took him away, I was like, get rid of him. he's not relevant anymore. He was relevant as a child because you worry about a child as a parent. It's like the last thing you want to see is for a child to get bitten or eaten by a walker. You don't want that to happen. But once they had the two-part, it's not like Carl was bitten and died right away too, which was kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was kind of a cop out. It's like, come on, you can do. People get bit and they stand right up in her walkers. It actually happened in the same season. Was it last episode or episode before last, when the people who were injured with the bullets that were dipped in the walker blood, they just started turning, and next thing you know, you've got an invasion of the Walking Dead right in your own quarters. So the fact that it took Carl probably a full 24 hours or more to die, and even then he didn't die. He killed himself. Who knows how long he would have lived. Not that I wanted to see him to sit there and see him sit there and suffer. Yeah. What do you think about Carl's death and how everybody reacted to it in the show?
Well, each one reacted differently because the way they knew Carl. As far as his death, it took a long time on TV, but actually, in their time, it didn't take that long.
I think it took a full 24 hours. He was bitten. It took longer than that. He was bitten during the daytime. Seemed like it wasn't until the day after that he started getting sick, and that was at night, and then the next day. So it was almost like 2 days. Two Walking Dead days. No more dog years. It's Walking Dead days. Something I want to address, which no one's going to stop this, but I have never seen a TV show that has more people, and I think that's because of YouTube, and that's because of the internet, and people need content for their YouTube. So everybody is talking about Easter eggs, and they're talking about what does this scene mean? And one of the scenes that I saw people talking about was the scene that we saw tonight, where Rick had gone a few rounds with Negan, and he turned around and sat down. He was bloody, and he sat down on the ground and leaned on a tree, and it was where he said, my wrath, I can't remember the saying, but it was the saying out of the Quran that
Grant me the wisdom to be lenient or something.
nothing like that at all.
What show were you watching?
What show are you watching? Billy Graham? Come on now. I said it was taken from the Quran. Why do I invite you on my show?
I don't know.
Why do I invite you to be on my videos? Woo, it's getting warm now. But anyways, Rick repeats something that the new doctor who Carl was getting to bring back to Alexandria or Alexandria, Alexander, I don't know, but it was something that he had said to Carl, and I guess that Rick heard it, and he repeated that, and it was something about his wrath being, basically it meant tempered by, yeah, at least I know it wasn't, what Bill said. People had that up saying that's the end of the show. That'll be the last. Rick's been bitten. He's the last one of them. He's dying, and a lot of people were right. He lost Carl, but not during that scene, or right before that scene. It and I posted on a lot of people's videos. We don't know that. We don't know anything. And if there's one thing that we do know, it's that set is tight, airtight. Nothing gets out of that set. If it does, give me my hair back. Thank you. People lose their jobs over stuff like that. So, the video was out there, people used it, and it was almost like clickbait. Like, oh, Rick's death scene, or Rick's this, or Rick's that. And it didn't turn out to be any of those things. Yes, he was thinking about Carl, but that's the only thing that people had right. And it wasn't the end of season 12, or the fact that maybe season 9's not coming. It was just, a lot of people don't understand, most people don't understand what goes into a TV show, and how these things get filmed. And it was filmed, and I really don't know how it got out there. I go to the press site. I don't really go to AMC's regular site very often, unless I'm specifically looking for some information that may have slipped my mind and I want to check on it. But it's, a TV show isn't filmed They may not even be filming something for this season. They could have already filmed half of next season's scenes with, Eugene, or they may have filmed, one whole season of another actor. That's how it goes. And then the other actors will come in and do their thing, and they'll splice it all together, just like some of us splice our YouTube videos together. And that's how it works. So this one scene, that's where it was always meant to go. And the blood was not was Negan's blood. No way you could have known that, but just don't be so completely this is going to happen, this is what it means, because it's never what it means. They don't want you to know, so they will throw up some things to block you from seeing what's going on the other side. And nobody does it better than The Walking Dead, because nobody has the characters and the people that The Walking Dead have. So I guess what I really want to say here is that the show started off strong, and it went all through the show. It wasn't a bad time to be a good guy. It was a good time to be a good guy. And then we have what we already knew, that Morgan Jones was going to be going over to the crossover. We finally got the crossover that Scott Gimple said we would get early, right away. And of course, that didn't happen for whatever reason. Maybe he misspoke. Maybe he got in a little bit of trouble. Whatever the reason. But I think that I'm not sure that's the character I would like to see cross over. But it was a character that is strong in he's certainly not strong in his mind right now, and I can understand that. I don't know how these people do it in this horrible world of The Walking Dead, but they do. Morgan has first lost his wife, then lost his son, and then actually was afraid he did lose Rick, which was his last connection to the living world. But you know, and it's like you waited and waited and waited for Morgan to come back, and
a while.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, up jumps Morgan. Hey, Morgan, where you been? And it was an awesome time, and now Morgan has moved on over to Fear the Walking Dead, which we saw the premiere season of season 4 tonight, and it was, well, it's, you know, I'm not sure they should have put the season finale of The Walking Dead, which is almost always the best show of the season. It's always the beginning, you're glad to be back, everything, you know, is there for you to know. And then the end of the season is, it's like a break. It's like, okay, break. We can end this line of the script here and start a whole new one. And that always happens, or it should always happens if you have a good TV show. But so I'm not sure I would have taken Morgan on that journey. And like I said, he's kind of like Rick. Bad things happen to him and he loses it. He sees people that aren't there. And all this season he was seeing the one guy with the long hair that he killed as a walker, or as a person, and came back as a walker in Lenny's mind. Lenny, that's his real name, in Morgan's mind. So all through the last couple of episodes, he's been seeing this guy. The guy's been taunting him, and you know, there you have that. So since Morgan is in such a bad headspace, I'm not sure I would have taken him, but I don't know who else they could have taken. They've got Eugene, who is in a place right now where he probably has perhaps an arc starting. He had an arc going, which means he was a big part of the show, and then that part ends. I think probably this coming season 9 he may not be so prominent, but he's probably going to have more of an arc than Morgan will. Gabriel would never go off on his own ever. I'll be surprised if he ever leaves his church again. And I don't know who else they could spare. Maybe Dwight, although, you know, we saw what happened to Dwight tonight, and it was not...
No, I think the only choice was Morgan.
I think he probably was too, because really, who else do you want to lose? It's like they die, kind of. I mean, they can come back, but you know. So Morgan goes into the world of The Walking Dead, and right towards the end, he runs into a part of the the people from The Walking Dead, and it's almost like they're bad guys now. They're bad guys. Remember when they were running away from LA and the only bad guy was the tall, handsome black guy who owned a boat and a beautiful home, except they weren't his. And now they're all kind of
Scraggly.
yeah, scraggly, and you don't really know who's who anymore. But I think I like the way The Walking Dead turned out, and as far as Fear the Walking Dead, I didn't care because I had my heart was in The Walking Dead. That's all there was to it. I wanted to see what happened to my favorite characters, and I'm happy with the way things turned out. So I kind of was able to take a deep breath, and now we're doing this. So as for me, you know what? I'm going to let Bill do his recap of whatever he said that he wants to say. And
No, I think it was an excellent show. And they did it the best they could. I would have opted for a different ending, but that was up to the director.
Actually, it was up to the producers, but that's okay. Nobody knows what producers do. I actually do, but I kind of agree. I would have liked a different ending for a certain reason, but we have the ending we have, so now we have to
wait and see if it works out.
Right. We have to wait and see if it works out, because if it doesn't, we could be back to a big mess. But I don't know how long this show is going to go. I don't know if it's going to go past season 9. I know they had told, Scott Gimple had supposedly told Chandler Riggs that he wanted him for season 9, 10, and 11, or maybe up to 12. I don't know. That's an awful long run. And supposedly every place you read on the boards about The Walking Dead and the YouTube, it's always, oh, I'm not going to watch The Walking Dead and blah, blah, blah. Well, their numbers aren't going down. Somebody's watching. Somebody's watching these shows. But, yeah, so I concur with what my husband Bill said, that it didn't end the way I wanted it to, but it ended the way it did because we don't know what's coming up. Just in life, life is the same way. Something happens, you don't know why. You just have to wait and see what happens because it happened. Yeah. So anyway, this is Tara from Tara's Independent Voice right here on YouTube. I also have a website by the same name, which we will be changing to more of a pop culture / horror situation. I am tired of doing rom-coms and drama and so I am going to be doing reporting on conventions, pop culture conventions such as San Diego Comic-Con. I'm going to be reviewing horror films, and I'm going to be reviewing documentaries. Almost any documentary you get will have something to do with pop culture, so it fits in, and it's what I like to do, so that's what I'm going to do. And of course, TV, especially horror TV, and there's getting to be more instead of less. I would have thought there'd be less, but there's some good things, and there's enough channels out there and enough streaming channels. If you haven't checked it out, check out Shudder. Netflix has a lot of good stuff, as does Amazon. There is a lot of really good shows out there. Think Stranger Things. Think, if you like YouTubers, and maybe you have some YouTubers that are your favorite, there are some shows, and one of them I'm thinking of is Zombies, and I can't think of what it's called, but it stars some top YouTubers. And I watched the whole first one, and then I started watching the second one. It had a certain YouTuber in it that I just didn't want to look at that time. But I think I can look at better now. I may go back and watch it, but there's things like that, and you have to buy YouTube Red, which I do, and I enjoy it very much. So yeah, and that's it for me. If you want to see Bill, just go into pretty much any bar in town, and they'll know. He'll either be there or he'll know where he is.
Look on the floor.
He's always here with me, trust me. Anyways, so we love you guys, and if you're just cruising through, please subscribe and set notifications to get notified when I do a new video, and leave a comment below. Maybe you disagree with me, maybe you agree with me, maybe you want to tell me I'm full of poopy. Go ahead. It's it's YouTube. You can do what you want. Okay, bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.